Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Let's check the gain here. Hey, Echo. What time is it? Echo. What time is it?
It's 8:08 a.m.
That looks good. All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Just getting some sound set up here. I really need to figure out how to get better audio out of these echoes for these streams because it's a little echoey. I probably just need to pad up the room here a bit, but sorry if that's kind of annoying. I'll work on that. I know I said I was going to play Dungeon Adventure this morning, but after playing that Strange Halls last night and being so frustrated and remembering that game Dungeon Frenzy we played a few days ago, I kind of wanted to give it another chance, and it really kind of stuck in my memory for some reason. I don't know why, but you know, I don't even know if you'd call that a roguelike game. It's like an arcade hack and slash dungeon crawler. It did bring back some old memories. So I can remember in the early 80s having like a PC. Couldn't afford a Apple. We weren't rich, but we'd build our own PCs. And I remember there's a game called Rogue that was actually on my dad's computers at UCSD that you could play on a terminal. I think it was made by some kids up in Santa Cruz, but it was like a ASCII art-based rogue-like dungeon crawler with random dungeons. And I think there was one in the arcades too. I can't remember the name. I think it might have just been named Rogue as well. And there's something weird about it. It was like 4-player. You could never get 4 players together to play it. And I don't think it required 4 players, but I never played it with anyone else. There was some problem with it. Like you had to have at least 2 people. And I just, didn't ask other people to play. It was something weird. But I watch other people play it sometimes. And then there was this game Hack. And then I think NetHack in the 80s that sort of had these random dungeon generated things. And then, but then this kind of roguelike genre just went away in the 90s because everyone started playing these huge RPGs, Icewind Dale or what was it, Bard's Tale, the whole Ultima series from Origin, right? Like the action and random part went away and they started getting these huge authored games basically to take up a whole CD-ROM, which was the new technology at the time, right? Like you'd want to out content the competition, so you'd fill that CD with bigger and bigger dungeons and worlds, right, to give people more value for their money. Box product days, remember, right? What else was back then? And then like Diablo came out, which was like a great addictive action roguelike game. I don't know if I'd call that roguelike, but hack and slash sort of made a comeback with that Diablo stuff. And then, there's kind of a long period of, I don't remember any roguelikes for a while. I don't know, maybe through the 2000s. And then there's recently been just some awesome ones. Roguelikes, they'll call them these days, or rogue lights. Like there's one out there called Hades, which I think is made up in San Francisco. They made some other great games. Supergiant, they've got some other great games. Not for me. I mean, you kind of have to be on crack to play these games. They're like so fast and furious and crazy. It's like beyond my capabilities anymore. I'm kind of obviously more of a casual player these days, but Jesus Christ, man. But it is fun to die over and over. So anyway, I wanted to go back to Dungeon Frenzy because it was sticking in my mind, so I'm going to play it again. And I just want to see if I can beat my high score, or if they even remember my high score. Echo, open Dungeon Frenzy.
Welcome back to Dungeon Frenzy. Your high score is 260 experience points and 23 gold pieces. A great darkness has descended upon the kingdom. Your quest is to exterminate
Echo, stop.
the ancient evil.
Hold on, I missed my high score.
Thanks for playing
Echo,
Dungeon
exit.
Frenzy.
Echo, open Dungeon Frenzy.
Welcome back to Dungeon Frenzy. New content has been added to the game this week.
Really?
You currently have 0 experience points, 0 gold, are wielding a pointy stick, wearing homemade armor and have 10 hit points. Would you like to continue this game?
Sure. What the fuck's my high score,
You
though?
sneak into a hot hall. You find a pile of straw. Do you want to loot it?
Yes. Again, why would I say no?
You break it open.
Is there a risk here? I've never been poisoned or trapped.
Healing potion. You're at full health. You walk into a small
Why can't I put
room.
the healing potion in my inventory? Hello?
Cavern. Will you go straight or down?
Down.
You walk into a fungus-coated room. You hunt through a moldy trophy room. You stumble through a slimy scrying chamber. You drop into a grimy passage. You tramp into a small vault. You stumble through a dirty chamber. You dash into a sewage-filled...
Oh, touched the echo, so everything stopped. They just have this one piece of cartoon art on the screen. It's kind of funny. Echo, repeat.
Will you go straight or down?
Down.
You break into a ransacked war room.
Never touch your fucking echo.
You have surprised a filth-covered giant rat. Will you fight or run?
Fight?
You attack the giant rat with your pointy stick. You hit the giant rat. Critical hit. Double damage. The giant rat is near death. The giant rat tries to bite you with its sharp teeth.
Ow.
The giant rat hits you.
Kill that fucker.
You killed the giant rat. You have gained 15
Sickening
experience
sound.
points.
Sounds are pretty funny in this,
You
actually.
need to gain experience points to level up. Each time you level up, you will get stronger. You now have 15 experience points. You need 14 more experience points to reach level 2. You find a dusty chest. Do you want to loot it?
Yes. Is there like a chance I can be poisoned, or they're like, and it's gonna explode? Like, why would I say no?
Yes! Your health is fully restored. You run into a gloomy hallway. Will you go left or straight?
Left.
You find a dead
I don't know
goblin.
if
Do you
I need
want
to
to
make a
loot it?
map. Yes.
You found a large, dry, thorny thistle. You're not hungry. You discover a bone-filled mine shaft. You have surprised an aggressive giant rat. Will you fight or run?
Fight. Does aggressive mean he's stronger?
The giant rat is severely injured. The giant rat misses. You killed the giant rat. You have gained 15 experience points. You now have 30 experience points. Congratulations. You have reached level 2.
And
Your
I
maximum
get...
health has increased. You can now take more damage from monsters. You find a barrel. Do you want to loot it?
Fuck yeah. Loot that thing.
You walk into a rubble-filled room.
Hey, good
You
synonyms.
climb into
Hey,
a
what the
desolate
fuck?
chapel. You walk
It
into
skipped
a
the
hallway.
loot box.
You escape into a dirty passage.
What?
You sneak into a cobwebbed room.
Okay.
Will you go left or straight?
Left. Bug
You
report.
trip into a latrine. You discover a stinking passage. You break into a dirty passage. Will you go left or right?
Fuck yeah.
Will you go left or right?
Left.
You find a glass jar. Do you want to loot it?
Fuck yeah, I'll loot that glass jar.
You peep into a smoke-filled room.
Fuck
You
yeah,
check
skip
out a
is the loot
blood-spattered
box? That's pretty
passage.
bad,
You
man.
bumble into a
Come
large
on.
hallway. You run into a hallway.
Who's in charge
You
of this
peer
thing? Get
into
some
a
synonyms
fungus-coated
going,
room.
man.
Will you go left or straight?
Straight.
You investigate a large tunnel. Will you go straight or down?
How do you go down in a tunnel? Down the tunnel?
Will you go straight or down?
Down.
You drop into a rubble-filled kitchen. You bumble into a somber throne room. You find a slimy hallway. You run into a rubble-filled corridor. You run into a barricaded summoning room. You discover a grimy bat cave. You break into a dirty labyrinth. Will you go left or down?
Down. We're always going down.
Will you go left or down?
Fuck you. Down.
Huh? You find a bookcase. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
You find a steel dagger.
Whoa.
You drop your stupid pointy stick and pick up the glorious steel dagger.
It is stupid.
You will now do more damage to monsters. You break into a passage. You scramble into a vile hallway. You rush into a small atrium. Will you go left or right?
Left.
Huh?
You find a small grave covered with stones. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
You found 1 gold.
What can I buy?
Yes!
You now have 1 gold. You need 10 gold for the village healer to resurrect you after death. You dash into a grotesque crematorium.
Huh?
You find a wooden crate covered in bizarre runes. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
You found stale croutons. You're hungry. You wolf it down.
Yes!
Your health is fully restored. You scour a gloomy forge. Will you go left or right?
Left.
Huh?
You find a burned barrel. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
Hey!
It's empty. You discover a ruined cistern. You trip into a rotunda. Will you go left or straight?
Straight.
You walk into a pitch-black passage. You run into a burnt-out passage. You are surprised by a foul-smelling blood bat. The blood bat tries to suck your blood. The blood bat misses. Do you want to fight or run?
Fight.
You attack the blood bat with your steel dagger. You miss. The blood bat hits you.
I kind of like the action sequences that you get to listen to.
Critical hit.
Oh, hell yeah.
The blood bat is severely injured.
Ow.
Critical
Come on, he's
hit.
got to be dead now.
You killed the blood bat. You have gained 15 experience points.
I kind of feel sorry for the rats and the bats.
You attack the blood bat with your steel
What the
dagger.
fuck?
You miss.
It just skipped up to a
The blood
fight.
bat hits you.
This thing's got some bugs in it, man.
Critical hit. The blood bat is severely injured.
Is it repeating the last sequence? It is. It just
Critical hit.
repeated the entire last
You
sequence
killed the
there.
blood bat.
That's weird.
You have gained 15 experience points.
Does that mean there's a rewind mechanic?
You now have 45 experience points.
That's weird.
You need 29 more experience points to reach level 3.
Huh?
You find a wooden bucket. Do you want to loot it?
Absolutely.
You find a suit of studded leather armor.
Whoa.
Fuck
You
yeah.
ditch your old homemade armor and put on the beautiful studded leather armor. It will now be harder for monsters to hit you. You run into a small hall. You search a large vault. Will you go left or right?
What are my stats?
You are perfectly healthy. You are wielding a steel dagger. You are wearing studded leather armor. You are level 2. You need 29 more experience points to reach level 3. You have found 1 gold pieces. Will you go
Ooh,
left
bad
or
grammar.
right?
Left.
Huh?
You find something submerged in a pool of slime. Do you want to loot it?
Yes. Don't eat me.
You found some goblin chow. You're hungry. You wolf it down.
Goblin chow.
Yes!
Your health is fully restored. You explore a grimy tomb.
Huh?
You find a marble sarcophagus. Do you want to loot it?
Yes. Sounds like a trap.
It's empty.
Repeat?
Will you go left or right?
Left.
You discover a rubble-filled room. You discover a bone-filled summoning room. You sneak into a large cavern. You plummet into a forge. Will you go left or straight?
Left.
Huh?
You find a poorly hidden grave. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
You found 5 gold.
Yes!
You now have 6 gold. You stumble through a misty hallway. You explore a long war room.
Huh?
You find a wooden crate. Do you want to loot it?
Yes. Can I get a sword or something?
It's empty. You trip into a fetid
Fuck
room.
you.
You walk into a vandalized hall. Will you go right or down?
Right.
You are surprised by a cruel giant rat.
Cool.
You are bleeding. Do you want to fight or run?
Fight.
Here!
You are severely injured.
Yee.
Do you want to fight or run?
Run.
You run into a tunnel. You discover a rubble-filled passage. Will you go left or straight?
Left. I don't think these directions really matter, right? It's just totally random.
Will you go left or straight?
Left.
Huh?
You find a moth-eaten blanket. Do you want to loot it?
Gross, but yes. Yes.
It's empty. You run into a dirty laboratory.
Huh?
You find a barrel. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
You found a bag of dead bugs. You're hungry. You wolf it
Disgusting.
down.
Ah, gross. Dead bugs.
Oh.
Fucking horrible.
You feel refreshed. You run into a dirty passage. You discover a dismal vault.
Huh?
You find a burned corpse.
Ah,
Do you want to loot it?
yes. Fucking gross.
It's empty.
Ah, come on,
You
where's
run
the
into a
sword?
rubble-filled hall.
Huh?
You find a giant snail's shell. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
It's empty.
Oh,
You
fuck.
discover a storeroom. Will you go right or straight?
Right.
Huh?
You find a lewd fertility statue. Do you want to loot it?
Yes. Jeez, chill, dude.
You find a suit of riveted brown suede dungeon hipster armor. Your studded leather armor is better.
Dungeon
You run into
hipster
a dusty
armor?
summoning room. Will you go left or straight?
Straight. I like the writing in this. It's kind of funny.
You are surprised by a teenaged giant
Stupid,
rat.
but funny.
Do you want to fight or run?
Fight. Oh shit, I'm injured, right? I forget.
Do you want to fight or run?
Run. Run away. Run away.
Do you want to fight or run?
Run!
You run into a dirty hall. You run into a large fountain room.
Run away
You
is
find a
not
wooden
a
crate.
synonym?
Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
Hey!
You find a very long sword.
Whoa.
You drop your stupid steel dagger and pick up the glorious very long sword. You will now do more damage to monsters. You run into a ruined atrium.
Huh?
You find a dead orc. Do you want to
Wait a
loot
minute.
it?
What are my stats? Did I just get a sword?
You are perfectly healthy. You are wielding a very long sword.
Fuck yeah.
You are
How did I
wearing
miss that?
studded leather armor. You are level 2.
Echo
You
skip.
need 29. Do you want to loot it?
Yes. Okay, good. Long sword.
It's empty. You peer into
What's with
a
all the
secret
empty loot
tomb.
boxes?
You find a dirty chest. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
You found a rock-hard breadstick. You're hungry. You wolf it down.
Rock hard breadstick? I've had that. Olive Garden, right? There's an Olive Garden in the dungeon?
Yes! Your health is fully restored. You run into a
Fucking
dark
good
hallway.
breadstick.
Will you go left or right?
Left.
You have surprised a seething blood bat. Will you fight or run?
Fight. I got a sword now, right? I should be able to kill this thing.
You attack the blood bat with your very long sword.
Right. Fuck.
Critical hit.
A lot of critical hits.
You
Bunch of
killed
empty
the
loot
blood
boxes,
bat.
bunch of critical
You
hits.
have gained 15 experience points. You now have 60 experience points. You need 14 more experience points to reach level 3.
Huh?
You find a partially eaten sheep. Do you want to loot it?
Yes. Gross.
Hey!
You find a nasty, crooked, evil-looking assassin's dagger. Your very long sword is better. You look into a small tunnel. Will you go left or right?
Left.
You have surprised a giant rat. Will you fight or run?
Fight. Kill this fucking rat.
Will you fight or run?
Fight.
Yeah!
Are these? Is that the only
You are
monsters?
Do you want to fight or run?
Fight. Like I got rats, bats. Ah, here we go again.
Do you want to fight or run?
Fight.
You are severely injured.
God damn it.
Do you want to fight or run?
Fight.
Yeah!
You are near death.
Fucking shitty
Do you
rat.
want to fight or run?
Run. God damn
You
it.
walk into a dirty
What good is this
hall.
sword?
Will you go left or right?
Left.
Huh?
You find an iron sarcophagus. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
You find a bubbling healing potion. You need healing.
Fuck
You
yeah.
chug it down.
Alright. Why didn't they
Your
let me
health is fully
keep the
restored.
healing potion I
You
found
scamper
before?
into a rubble-filled
Do I not have an
corridor.
inventory?
You discover
Where's the
a
backpack,
rubble-filled
man?
guard room. You sneak into a plundered pit. You explore a stinking hallway.
Huh?
You find a strange bag. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
You found a small green tongue. You're not hungry. You race into a tunnel.
I'm
Will
not
you go
eating
left
that.
or straight?
Left.
You walk into a dim prison cell. You run into a room. You sneak into a ruined room. You search a small hallway. You discover a large hallway. Will you go right or straight?
Right.
You retreat into a secret passage.
Huh?
You find a foul latrine. Do you want to loot it?
Yep.
You found a dried worm. You're not hungry. You sneak into a desolate circular room. You are surprised by an adolescent goblin. The goblin slashes at you with its
Goblin?
nasty little sword. The goblin misses. Do you want to fight or run?
Fight.
The goblin hits
Piece
you.
of shit.
You are bleeding. Do you want to fight or run?
Fight. Isn't there any magic too? Aren't you supposed to be able to use magic?
The goblin is limping. You are severely injured. Do you want to fight or run?
Fight.
You killed the goblin. You have gained 30
Yes.
experience points.
How much? 30 XP
You now
for a
have
goblin?
90 experience points. Congratulations. You have reached level 3. Your maximum health has increased. You can now take more damage from monsters.
Huh?
You find a spider's nest. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
You found a moldy pastry. You're hungry. You wolf it down.
Ugh. Well, I guess when you're hungry, you're hungry.
You feel refreshed. You discover a dirty room. You run into a large labyrinth. You stumble through a large room.
Huh?
You find a dilapidated barrel. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
You found a bag of very unmagical beans. You're hungry. You wolf it down.
Did he say?
You feel refreshed.
Did he say
You find
very
a large
unmagical
room.
beans?
You find a fungus-coated hall. You have surprised a goblin. Will you fight or run?
Fight.
The goblin is limping.
Yes.
You kill the goblin. You have
All right,
gained
this
30
longsword
experience
definitely
points.
feels a little better than that stupid dagger.
You now have 120 experience points. You need 21 more experience points to reach
All right, bring me a
level
goblin
4.
that I can
You find a bloody
eviscerate.
backpack. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
You found 2 gold.
Yes!
You now have 8 gold. You discover a moldy hall. You sneak into a dirty passage. You fall into a dirty room. You sneak into a barricaded vault. Will you go left or right?
Left.
Huh?
You find a pile of fresh corpses.
Ugh.
Do you want to loot it?
Yes. Yes. Rob the dead.
You find a morning star. Your very long sword is better. You run into a dirty fountain
What?
room.
Morning stars
Will
are
you
awesome.
go left or straight?
Straight.
You
I
are
want a
surprised
battle
by a
axe, is
famished
what I want.
goblin. Do you want to fight or run?
Fight.
Critical hit. You kill the goblin. You have gained
I wish I
30
could hear
experience
like
points.
a critical hit death rather than just the
You
standard
now
goblin
have
death.
150 experience points. Congratulations. You have reached level 4. Your maximum health has increased. You can now take more damage from monsters.
Huh?
You find a stinking cake. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
Ah!
You found a bottle of mushroom spirits. You're hungry. You wolf it down.
Yes!
Your health is fully restored. You walk into a burnt-out room.
Good mushroom
Huh?
You
potion
find a
there.
pile of stones. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
You found 3 peas. You're not hungry. You run into an eerie banquet room. You trip into a small hallway. You sprint into a dirty hallway. You explore a large cistern. You trip into a wrecked tunnel. You walk into a great chamber. Will you go left or down?
Left?
You are surprised by a blood-covered giant rat. Do you want to fight or run?
What are my stats?
You are perfectly healthy. You are wielding a very long sword. You are wearing studded leather armor.
Very
You are
long.
level 4. You need 92 more experience points to reach level 5.
Yeah, blah, blah.
You have found 8 gold pieces. Do you want to fight or run?
Fight.
Ouch!
You are bleeding.
Hockey you.
Do you want to fight or run?
Fight.
You are near death.
No.
Do you want to fight or run?
Run. You fucking rat. How did it get through my studded leather armor? That's what I'd like to know. Oh, here we go again.
Do you want to fight or run?
Run. Run. Run,
You
run.
discover a burnt-out passage. Will you go left or right?
Left. Okay, so I'm barely alive. Left. Echo left.
You run into a...
Left.
Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
You find a bubbling healing potion. You need healing.
Yes.
You chug it down.
Just in the nick of time.
Yes!
Your health is fully restored. You discover a study. You explore a vile laboratory. Will you go left or right?
Right?
You have surprised a seething goblin.
Gonna cut him in
Will
half.
you fight or run?
Fight. Just like right down the middle.
The goblin is severely injured.
Hey!
The goblin is near death.
Ah!
You kill the goblin. You have gained 30 experience points. You now have 180 experience points. You need 62 more experience points to reach level 5.
Huh?
You find a strange bag. Do you want to loot it?
Yes?
You found 3 gold.
Yes!
You now have 11 gold. You run into a misty forge. You are surprised by a horrid giant rat. Do you want to fight or run?
Fight. What was my health?
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of hard to play when you can't see any
The giant
stats
rat
at
is
all,
near
but they make it easy.
You are bleeding. Do you want to fight or run?
Fight?
Oh!
You can ask what your stats are, at least. Fuck
You
the
killed
rat.
the giant rat.
I hate
You
rats.
have gained 15 experience points. You
Alright.
now have 195 experience points.
What do I get?
You need 47 more experience points to reach level 5.
I just want to
You
see
find a burned
what
corpse.
happens at the higher levels.
Do you want to loot it?
Yes. Like, I've only found 4 monsters so far. It's like,
You
rats.
find a very scary looking obsidian dagger. Your very long sword is better. You blunder into a long chapel.
Rats, bats,
you lurch
goblins?
into a large prison cell.
Is that
You
it?
step into a large tunnel. You scour a large hallway. You have surprised a fierce blood bat. Will you fight or run?
Fight.
You kill the blood bat. You have gained 15 experience points.
Don't let PETA know about this game.
You now have 210 experience points. You need 32 more
All right,
experience
come on.
points to reach level 5.
Huh?
You find a marble sarcophagus. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
It's empty.
Oh!
You glide into a dirty passage. Will you go left or right?
Right.
Huh?
You find a grotesque stone idol of an insane god. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
Yeah.
You found 5 gold.
Yes!
You now have 16 gold. You sneak into a dark shrine. You retreat into a large spider's nest.
Huh?
You find a giant dirty burlap sack. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
You find a bubbling healing potion. You need healing. You chug it down.
I can't remember anything. Like, what are my stats again? This should make me fully healed, though, right?
Yes!
Your health is fully restored. You hunt through a secret tunnel. You retreat into a wrecked barracks. Will you go left or straight?
Straight.
You find a small box. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
You found 6 gold.
What was the gold for again?
Yes!
You now have 22 gold. You explore a blood-spattered hallway.
Help?
Dungeon Frenzy is a fast-paced fantasy role-playing game built for smart speakers. No two games are alike. The dungeons and monster encounters are randomly generated. To gain experience points, you need to kill monsters. To regain health points, you need to find food or healing potions while looting. Better armor and weapons are automatically equipped when looted. The longer you play, the more monsters you will discover. Just say stats to hear your health and equipment
The longer
levels.
I play?
Will you go right or straight?
Right.
You walk into a vile hall.
The longer I
You
play?
are surprised by a goblin.
Ah!
Do you want to fight or run?
Fight.
Ah!
Goblins, bats, rats.
The goblin is near death.
Where are the other monsters? Do I have to go down? Maybe it's because I'm not taking the choice to go down? That it's not
You
giving
are
me
bleeding. Do you
better
want to
monsters
fight or
to loot?
run?
Fight.
Ah!
You are severely injured. Do you want to fight or run?
Fight.
You killed a goblin. You have gained 30 experience points. You now have 240 experience points. You need 2 more experience points to reach level 5. You find a small box. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
No!
You found 4 gold.
Yes!
You now have 26 gold. You inspect a bone-filled passage. You find a leaking barrel. Do you want to loot it?
Leaking? Yes.
You find a bubbling healing potion. You need healing. You chug it down.
Yes!
Your health is fully restored. You sneak into a lonely room. You have surprised a giant rat. Will you fight or run?
Fight.
The giant rat is severely injured. You killed the giant rat. You have gained 15 experience points. You now have 255 experience points. Congratulations. You have reached level 5.
I think that's the highest
Your
I ever got in
maximum
this
health
was
has
level
increased.
5.
You can now take more damage.
I don't even know how
from
many levels there
monsters.
are.
You find a pile of stones. Do you want to loot it?
Yes. I wish there was a
It's
leaderboard
empty.
somewhere. Is
You
there?
walk into a forlorn mausoleum. You have surprised a revolting goblin. Will you fight or run?
Fight. This should have a leaderboard.
You killed the
right.
goblin.
That's right.
You have gained 30 experience points. You now have 285 experience points. You need 109 more experience points to reach level 6.
Is there a dragon?
You find an old bucket.
Where's the necromancer?
Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
It's empty. You escape into a secret cave. You explore a dirty laboratory. You find a pile of human skulls. Do you want to loot it?
Yes. I love looting skulls.
It's empty.
They made a wood.
You sneak into a hall. You have surprised a goblin. Will you fight or run?
Fight. It's getting pretty repetitive.
You are bleeding. Do you want to fight or run?
Fight.
You are severely injured.
That sounded bad.
Do you want to fight or run?
Run. No, wait, fight. I could
You blunder into an eerie
I can
passage.
regenerate because
You
I've got enough
stumble
gold.
through a small
Fuck yeah, I'm
passage.
gonna fight everything
You
until
walk
I
into a
die
small library.
and then come back to
You
life.
trip into a disgusting corridor. You walk into a rubble-filled shrine.
It's funny, once you
You
get
run
enough
into
gold
a
to
ruined
resurrect,
tunnel.
you're like, fuck it.
You run into a
I'm just gonna
freezing
fucking
banquet
fight
room.
everything.
Will you go left or straight?
Straight. Okay, so I'm just gonna fight until I die. Hello?
Will you go left or straight?
Straight. And I'm gonna keep going down. I think that's the key to getting better dungeons and loot. Echo, straight.
Will you go? You are surprised by a raging blood bat. Do you want to fight or run?
Fight.
You are near death. Do you want to fight or run?
Fight.
The blood bat is severely injured. You are dead. Would you like to be brought back to life with full health and your previous experience?
hear the
points
necromancer
and
laughing.
potential
Why can't I
stored
fight
for
him?
10 gold pieces?
Yes, I would like to resurrect.
2 wandering warriors drag your corpse back to the village. They take you to a great cleric's temple. Resurrection requires 10 gold. You have 16 gold remaining. You have been restored to full health with all your previous gear.
Ha! Let's move.
You skulk into a stinking passage. Will you go left or straight?
Straight. Sounds like the guy from that
You
old
probe a
game,
fog-filled library.
Tribes.
Huh?
You find a stinking
You remember
cave.
Tribes?
Do you want to loot it?
Yes, I'll loot it.
Ah!
You found some dead moths. You're not hungry.
Tribes
You
would be
march
fun to
into a
replay
hallway.
if it's
You
even
skulk into a
able
grimy
to be
labyrinth.
played anymore.
Will you go left or right?
Right.
You have surprised a greater blood bat. Will you fight or run?
Fight.
You are bleeding. Do you want to fight or run?
Fight.
Critical hit. The blood bat is severely injured. The blood bat is near death. You are severely injured. Do you want to fight or run?
Don't care. Fight. I'm gonna buy my way out of death.
You killed the blood bat. You have gained 15 experience points. You now have 300 experience points. You need 94 more experience points to reach level 6.
Huh?
You find a broken statue. Do you want to loot it?
Yes. Why don't they have more monsters? It's like so boring.
You found a handful
Same
of hay.
3
You're
monsters
hungry.
over and over?
You wolf it down. You feel refreshed. You explore a rubble-filled hallway. You skulk into a dirty tunnel. Will you go left or straight?
Left.
You snoop about a large hall.
Huh?
You find a fresh corpse. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
You find a suit of woven hemp hippie armor. Your studded
Hemp
leather armor
hippie
is better.
armor.
You run into a blood-filled room. Will you go left or right?
Left.
Huh?
You find a shallow grave. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
You find a suit of leather armor. Your studded leather armor is better. You blunder into a damp sepulchre. You break into a small crypt. You are surprised
Fucking
by a juvenile goblin.
Stupid goblins.
You are bleeding. Do you want to fight or run?
Fight forever, fight forever. Fight.
Do you want to fight or run?
Fight.
You are severely injured. Do you want to fight or run?
Fight.
The goblin is limping. You are near death. Do you want to fight or run?
Fight. Where's my critical hit, man?
You killed the goblin.
That did it.
You have gained 30 experience points. You now have 330 experience points. You need 64 more experience points to reach level 6.
Huh?
You find a bloody corpse. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
You find a suit of scale mail armor.
Whoa.
You
Fuck
ditch
yeah.
your old studded leather armor and put on the beautiful scale mail armor.
Scale
It will
mail?
now be harder for monsters to hit you.
Hell
You
yeah.
explore a secret hallway.
I wish they'd show
Will you go
pictures of
left
this
or
stuff.
right?
Right. It's the same dumb... They can change
You have
things on the
surprised
screen.
a stupid giant
Why don't they
rat.
put
Will you
art
fight or
in?
run?
Fight. I want to see my scale mail armor. I want to see my avatar. Ah, fuck.
Will you fight or run?
Fight. They could do more with the visuals in this for sure.
You killed the giant rat. You have gained 15 experience points. You now have 345 experience points. You need 49 more experience points to reach level 6.
Huh?
You find a dirty old bag. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
You found 6 gold.
Yes!
You now have 22 gold. You sneak
All right,
into a
I can die
trap-filled
twice
hallway.
now. I'm
Will
just
you
going to
go
fight.
left or right?
I don't even have to choose now. Repeat? What?
Will you go left or right?
Right. I'm just see if I can get to level 6. I'm like,
Huh?
where?
You find an ugly iron pot full of bubbling guts. Do you want to loot it?
Yes. Maybe not. I don't know. Yes.
You found a dead mouse. You're hungry. You wolf it down.
No.
You feel refreshed. You discover a cobweb tunnel. You explore a large room. You discover a hall. You are surprised by a green slime.
Fuck
the green
me.
slime tries to trap you in its oozing goo. The green slime hits you.
Gross. Gross.
You are severely
Okay,
injured.
first new monster.
Do you want to fight or run?
Fight. Fucking green slime. Go right from goblin to green slime. Ah, fuck you.
Do you want to fight or run?
Fight.
The green slime misses.
What was that? Did I just get eaten?
You are dead. Would you like to be brought back to life with full health, and your previous experience points and equipment restored for 10 gold pieces?
Yes.
2 wandering warriors drag your corpse back to the village. They take you to a great cleric's temple. Resurrection requires
Okay, so
10
we got
gold.
rats, bats, goblins, and green slimes.
You have
now.
12 gold remaining.
Green slime did not seem very powerful either.
You
Sounded
have been restored
good.
to full health with all your previous gear.
Ha! Let's move.
You discover a smoke-filled shrine. You lurch into a barricaded hall.
Huh?
You find a large, grotesque skull of some sort. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
No!
You found 6 gold.
Yes!
You now have 18 gold. You find a moldy chapel. Will you go left or straight?
Straight.
Huh?
You find a wooden crate covered in bizarre runes. Do you want to loot it?
Absolutely.
You found 5 gold.
Yes!
You now have 23 gold. You sneak into a dark room. Will you go left or straight?
Straight. Why can't I go down
You
anymore?
find a wooden
I
crate.
want to go down
Do
deeper.
you want to loot it?
Yes.
You found a box of jumping beans. You're not hungry. You find a large room. You find an old dusty
Come
box.
on, level 6.
Do
Level
you
6.
want to loot it?
Yes.
No!
It's empty. You scout a passage. Will you go left or right?
Right.
Huh?
You find a pile of fresh corpses. Do you want to loot it?
Yes. I think.
It's empty. You run into a small passage. You bumble into a burnt-out tunnel.
God.
You run into a somber corridor.
Huh?
You find a decorative amphora vase. Do you
Amphora.
want to loot it?
Yes.
You found 5
That's a
gold.
priceless artifact. They're teaching kids really bad
Yes.
manners.
You now have 28 gold. You stagger into a dank hall. You scour a
One does
somber
not
tunnel.
just
Will you go
loot
left or straight?
ancient amphoras. Straight.
Will you go left or straight?
Straight. You know,
You are surprised by a sick imp. The imp lunges at you with its dirty spear. The imp hits you. Do you want to fight or
oh,
run?
an imp. Fight. I think that's a new one too.
Do you want to fight
Fuck.
or run?
Fight.
The imp misses. The imp is near death. You killed the imp. You have gained 30 experience points.
That imp is a simp.
You now have 375 experience points. You need 19 more experience points to reach level
19
6.
away.
Huh?
You find a small box. Do you want to loot it?
Yes. Again, why would I say no?
You find a suit of light leather armor. Your scale mail armor is better. You scamper into a laboratory. You find a giant dirty burlap sack. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
You find a bubbling healing potion. You need healing. You chug it down.
You know who needs a healing potion is me. It's called coffee.
Yes!
Your health is fully restored. You discover a pitch black passage. You sneak into a massive room. You run into a dark shrine. You walk into a shadowy vault. Will you go left or right?
Left.
Huh?
You find a strange chest. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
It's empty. You run into a wrecked room. Will you go left or down?
Down. Down. We're going down.
Huh?
You find a pile of bones. Do you want to loot it?
Yes.
Ah!
It's empty.
Oh!
You drop into a bleak
What,
hallway.
did he just fart?
Will you go left or right?
Right.
Huh?
You find a decorative amphora vase. Do you want to loot it?
Yes. Although I'd rather
Yeah!
add it to my relic collection.
You find old rusty dagger. Your very long sword is better. You explore a collapsed room. You glide into a dirty latrine. You walk into a vile hallway. Will
Yeah.
you go left or straight?
Straight.
You explore a ruined scrying chamber. You discover a secret sewer. You explore an eerie hallway.
Secret
You are
sewer.
surprised by a confused imp. Do you want to fight or run?
Fight. Secret. Secret sewer would make a good band name. Secret sewer. Maybe not.
The imp is limping. You killed the imp. You have gained 30 experience points. You now have 405 experience points. Congratulations.
God.
You have reached level 6.
Woohoo! All right. I wish they'd
Your maximum health
give
has
me a
increased.
nice
You can now take
get
more
out of the
damage
game
from
point.
monsters.
Huh?
You find a barrel. Do you
Echo.
want to loot it?
Stop.
Thanks for playing Dungeon Frenzy. We regularly update the game. Come back anytime by saying Alexa, open Dungeon Frenzy.
Woo. Okay, that was definitely more fun than Strange Halls, that's for sure. I know I played it like a few days ago, but it's strangely addictive. I mean, okay, so let's go through some there's some issues with the game, and then kind of like what my wish list is, and then and what was really great about it. So there's some weird bugs of this thing. Like if you say yes to a loot box, no problem. You can say absolutely yes, all variations yes. But if you say fuck yeah, it fucking skips the loot box. Like, put the synonym in here, man. Like, people are going to get emotional, and they're going to put cuss words in front of, in back of, around the key action words. Give them a bone here, man. Then there's something weird that happened, and I don't know if it's because of something I said, or if it's just, maybe it's something with Alexa, but there was one fight where I got 2 crit hits. I went through the loot box, maybe a level up or something, and then it repeated the last section of the fight. Like the whole thing verbatim repeated. Like it was pre-recorded and put in there, which makes me wonder, I wonder if some of these sequences are pre-recorded. Like maybe they made up the sound of a fight, but I don't know, it sounds pretty random. It sounds pretty good too. There's some grammar issues too. I think I found like 1 golds or something, or there was they didn't do the work on getting rid of the S or the A, N and an or A in a few places. It's not hard to do, but they should have taken that. Run away is not a synonym of run. Like, come on. Like, build your synonym library. It's what you do if you're making Alexa games. I just, well, hopefully we'll get this feedback to them. They can fix it up. what else would I say? I kind of needed a break every once in a while. Like, I mean, so isn't, I don't know, it's not really like a modern roguelike. I mean, you don't get anything by dying, and you can't like change yourself or the dungeon in any way. It's really an arcade game. I'd say this is really an arcade game. But even frickin' Donkey Kong had interstitial movies every once in a while, some little tidbits of story, and this is just like this constant, you know, well, it is called Dungeon Frenzy for a reason, I guess, but it's just like this non-stop action, you know, and running around. I don't know, I'm not going to play it all day, and I wish they'd give me more of a convenient place to get out of the game, you know, maybe set a reminder for tomorrow, like the level ups. Probably a really good place to do that, right? But they don't have it in there. And likewise, I'm never told about a leaderboard, and this thing is just made to have a leaderboard. Like, where is it? Like, did they forget? I mean, Amazon makes leaderboards like, you know, copy and paste now. They're like off the shelf. You can stick them on anything. The hook, maybe they don't know about it. But yeah, it should have a leaderboard. And then, really frustratingly, when I come back to the game, when I started it, it never told me what my high score was. Like, I know I got to like level 4 or 5 last time I played, right? Like, why doesn't it tell me, like, you got to level 5, you had a blah, blah, blah sword, try and beat that score? Like, you know, Yes Sire does that. Wish there was something like more humor around killing an animal or monster, killing a monster with a critical hit, like some sort of super evisceration scene where their head goes flying off, or you can hear their guts spilling on the floor, or they, you know, their arms get hacked off, or maybe you could pick a finishing move. I know you can't see anything, but it'd be fun to listen to like this rad way that you're just demolishing and assassinating and exterminating these various monsters. There's got to be a way to do that, right? That'd be funny. Stuff that I think was really funny, you know, what's funny is when you're fighting, they like do this thing, it's like automatic fights. So you like, all you do is pick whether to fight or run, which is nice and simple. It's a little, you know, I wish there's something else there, but it kind of works. And sometimes the fights get really long and it turns into like this tennis match where you're like, bing, bong, clang, bite, ouch, yikes. It's just funny. And like there's a pretty wide variety of sounds. Like it's not that repetitive in the soundscape, but like, man, God, I only had like 3 monsters until level 6. Like, mix it up a little bit. How hard can it be? It's just sound effects and like a data table, right? Come on. Like, I was just fighting nothing but rats, bats, and goblins for like, what, 45 minutes? What's the time here? Oh shit, over an hour. And then I go right to a green slime. I don't know. If you ask me, green slime's sort of a late dungeon sort of monster. They're pretty bad, but I don't know. Maybe they seem kind of weak. And then I think there was one imp. But like, where's the necromancer, man? I'm here to defeat the necromancer. Maybe I just didn't get to a high enough level, but hello, tell me what level I need to get to fight the necromancer. I mean, I'm kind of a little bit running out of steam. I'm like, you know, is it level 7? Maybe it's level 7, level 8. Where's the guy? Anyway, and then you know, I don't know. I wish there was some other mechanic here, like where's the magic? I get like there's a healing potion, but like, aren't there evil mages I can fight that have cool spells? And like, why can't I be a magician or a rogue? Like, there's no classes, no skill trees, you know, that kind of stuff you want. But again, it's an arcade game, and so I don't think it's supposed to be like this massive, you know, RPG. It does feel a little bit like a gambling mechanic. I think I said this before, but like there's this gambler's high around the loot boxes and the fights, like when you're really pressing your luck. And you know what I found myself doing is when I had enough gold where I knew I could resurrect, I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just fight everything. And it's kind of fun to see how low you can go on health and maybe succeed and pull off a last minute hit on a monster when you're both at near death. It kind of gets kind of exciting there. But it's like a coin flip. I don't know. I did feel like when I finally got that sword and the better armor that I was doing a bit better, but not that much better. Maybe there's like a lot more armor. I mean, I think I've gone through like 3 armors and 3 weapons. I'm curious how many there are, so I kind of want to replay it again and see if there's like more coming. Although I did find a bunch of armors I couldn't equip because it sucked. What was that? And they were funny, like a hemp hippie armor. Doesn't sound like it's gonna do too well. And then what was the other one? There's like a hipster, suede dungeon hipster armor. Like the humor's, I kind of like the writing. It's kind of funny. What else here? Yeah, the fact that there's no leaderboard is kind of weird. Maybe there is one. I have to go look at their at the Amazon skill store and see if there's something in there. Anyway, that was Dungeon Frenzy again. Pretty fast pace for an Alexa game. If you recall, we were playing through like, God, what were those other games we were playing the other day? It was like the Magic Mirror and Cursed Painting. Like really slow. Like have to listen to the dice rolls and what weapon are you gonna equip? And okay, what are you gonna parry high or low? You know, god damn, man, it's so slow. And the one thing so the speed is nice. Like it's one of the faster. I don't think I'll use the word visceral, but it's at least it's fast and arcadey speed. And pretty much anyone can play it. So what do you have to say? You say yes, no, run, fight. Like it's built for everybody. Any idiot could play this thing, but it's sort of strangely addictive. But the one thing that really bugs me is like, why is there a no on the loot box? That's weird. It might be related to that old problem of making games for Alexa where Amazon says you have to have some choice every 90 seconds. I believe that's a requirement of any, like, I don't even know if it's all their skills. I think it is. I don't think it's just games. That might be something put there. But, like, if you are going to have a no, I should want to take the no option every once in a while, right? Should mean these loot boxes need to be improved or changed in some way so that there's a risk with them. Right now, there's like no risk. So why would I say no? Why don't you just automatically open? It's probably has to do with that 90-second barrier. They have to stick a choice in, and they were just lazy, I guess, and didn't make the loot boxes more interesting. But I don't know. Strangely addicted. Dungeon Frenzy. Check it out in the Alexa Skill Store. Tomorrow we will be playing, or rather tonight maybe, Dungeon Adventure. So I'm going to check out all the dungeon games and see which one's the best. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. And give me a follow if you're interested in this stuff. Otherwise, I will talk to you tomorrow.